You are definitely not going to want to pass this show by. So go ahead and celebrate with all of Cardinal Nation, as you're going to flip for some of these highlights. Party with us. Sports Night is next.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sports Night. I'm Joe Young.
And I'm Howie Shapiro. And all your hard work, Joe Young, is now paying off. Maybe the first 3-hour sports night ever in the history of Sports Night. So get comfortable, get to your favorite place, take off your shoes, relax, because you're going to be here a while.
I don't know that it's going to be quite that long, but we do have quite a bit to go through. We're already 2 weeks into the season. The tennis team has already played 11 matches. Football team, a couple of games already, so a quarter of the way through their regular season schedule. We're going to get through it all and also preview all of the teams. So we're going to go kind of fast tonight.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
We start with the football team. The Cardinals season opener had a little bit of everything, and by the end, it was definitely an instant classic. Cardinals really wanted some payback against Brainerd for their season opening loss up north last year, and they got it in dramatic fashion. Cardinals charged into the game ready to give the home crowd a show. The defense forced a turnover inside the 5 and forced a missed field goal in the first quarter, but Brainerd started the scoring with a big play late in the second. Damon Bento gets a nice hole, then runs through would-be tacklers and breaks free for a 70-yard touchdown to get the Warriors on the board. After the Cardinals went 3 and out, Bento strikes again, this time forcing his way in from the 4. Brainerd up 12-0 at the half. Cardinals turned the ball over for the 4th time on their opening possession of the third quarter. Brainerd pulls this trick out of their hat on the next play. Halfback pass from Eli Holmes to Jake Merseth. 67-yard touchdown plus a 2-point conversion had the Warriors up 20-0 less than a minute into the second half. But the Cardinals weren't about to give up. Late in the second, little shovel pass to Kaijon Cummings-Coleman, not to be denied, banging his way to the paint for a 3-yard score. Cards had some tricks up their sleeves as well. A perfect onside kick by Patru is recovered by Hunter Thompson. The offense is right back on the field. That leads to a score early in the fourth quarter, 3rd and 22. Jacob Maddock rolls to his left, then throws back over the middle, finds Coleman in the back of the end zone, and all of a sudden, Coon Rapids is back within 6. Brainerd looking to build the lead again. 2nd and goal from the 3. Quarterback Marcelo Getty tries to force a pass in, and Edward Tabla makes an amazing catch, dragging his foot for his 2nd pick of the game. That keeps the home team's hopes alive. Just over 2 minutes left. Cards facing 2nd and 29, and Maddock will hook up with C-squared one more time. He's down the sidelines for a 47-yard score. Kaijon finished with 7 catches for 122 yards and 3 scores. Defense held from there, forcing a turnover on downs and securing the most exciting win for the Cardinals since the state tournament team of 2019. Amazing the way that game played out.
The game had everything. I mean, it really did. I mean, you talk about the Cardinals fell behind early.
Blocked extra point.
Interception on a drive late down in their end zone.
They forced onside, 3 turnovers. Onside kick.
It's amazing. It was great. It was so much fun. Well, last week the Cardinals traveled to St. Francis to face the Saints, hoping they could start the season with a streak. It was another exciting affair with the Cardinals once again having to come from behind. This time they tied it in the 4th quarter, and the game had to be decided in overtime. Cardinals got the start they wanted. Opening drive, Jacob Maddock goes over the top and finds Dominic Oleman behind the defense for a 35-yard score. Coon Rapids up early 7-0. But the Saints, they're going to steal the momentum. After that, late in the first quarter, Jackson Skogquist with time airs it out, drops it perfectly for Brady Johnson. A 30-yard touchdown evens the score at 7. Well, St. Francis is going to take the lead early in the second. Skogquist calls his own number this time and forces his way in from the one on the sneak. Saints on top by a score of 14-7. Well, they're going to add to it on their next possession. From the 3, they give it to fullback Aiden Carlson. He bulldozes his way into the end zone. 21 unanswered points, and St. Francis is in control. Starting quarterback Jacob Maddock went out with an injury in the second quarter, but Jackson Hetwer steps up. Nice short completion to Cummings-Coleman late in the second, and C-squared turns it into a big gain, flying down the sideline for a 75-yard score, and the Cardinals cut the lead to 21-13 before the break. Same score coming up here now midway through the 4th. Hetwer flushed from the pocket, throws to the back of the end zone, finds Jackson Smith for a 20-yard score. Hetwer connected with Jared Fearing for a 2-point conversion. Now the game is going to go to overtime. Saints running effectively on this possession, on their possession. Joe Waldock gets the big hole, scores from 6. That's going to give St. Francis the 28-21 lead. Cardinals answer Hetwer with a great back shoulder throw to Oleman on this right side. He makes the catch. Hetwer threw 3 touchdowns after coming in for Maddock. Coon Rapids going to need an extra point to force another overtime possession, but Patru kicks sails left, and the Cardinals fall a point short, losing a tough one, 28-27.
Yeah, that's one I think that will stick in their craw a little bit.
Big time.
It's unfortunate because they were that close to being 2-0.
Yep.
You know, John Patru, a little bit of a prophet. He said in the interviews, it's not in the preview piece, he said, we've been spending a lot of time working on our special teams because it can be the difference in the game, and it was the difference in the game both of their first 2 weeks.
Absolutely.
On the positive side, week 1. On the negative side, unfortunately, week 2.
I'm sure he's playing that kick over and over in his head. Got to move past it, though.
Yeah, still a lot. And
Fresh
these next
week.
4 weeks, we'll talk about in a second. These next 4 weeks are huge.
Yes.
Cardinals can't feel too bad about that start, but this team definitely wants more. These Cardinals feel they've gotten better every day, and they plan to keep improving until the final snap of the season. Still a lot of football to be played, and they still have a lot to prove to everyone, including themselves.
So we're trying to prove to everybody that we're a different team now and that we are definitely able to win games.
Some common themes on the football field this season: preparation, focus, and accountability.
We're all communicating, making sure we always know what to do. We're always helping each other out, picking each other up, you know, and we're always like, it feels like a really good brotherhood. Nobody's feel like selfish or anything. Everyone's together.
Since their state semifinal appearance in 2019, the Cardinals are just 3-12 over the past 2 seasons. That's not good enough for this group, and their veterans are committed to getting this train back on track.
Kudos to the seniors. I think the senior class has really taken upon themselves of pushing things the way that they want to see them. You know, I'm the head football coach, but we talk about it's really your football team.
The Cardinals are working extra hard both on and off the field, making sure they're more prepared than every opponent.
Watching film, watching practice film, watching Brainerd film, all that, just studying.
So we sat down as a team, we had a whiteboard and we wrote down our goals, and then we had it printed out, put on the locker so everybody knows what we're supposed to come out here and do every single day. And I feel like that's really helping us to accomplish our goals.
Chief among those goals is to represent their school and their community with pride and show every team on the schedule that they're ready to battle on game night.
That's where we need to prepare that for every single player. When we go throughout a practice, you should be thinking right now under the lights, Friday night, here's how I'm going to run my route.
The Cardinals' greatest challenges still lie ahead of them, but each week they get stronger, more experienced, and better prepared. And they plan to leave it all on the field every game.
We have a lot more experience on the team, and I think we're more prepared for teams now. They all know what to expect in a Friday Night Light environment.
These next 4 weeks are crucial for the football team. They're 4 division opponents in these next 4 weeks. They host Buffalo this week and Elk River next week. But then they go on the road against Andover and Rogers. So 4 weeks in a row, huge games.
These are really big games and ones that are going to be tough. And so the Cardinals are going to have to go into this with the mindset, you know what, we can beat anybody in our way, and they have to play pretty much mistake-free football these next 4 weeks because
they can't rely on any more comebacks.
No, because I mean, you look at Elk River and the amount of points they put up, and and Andover as well, and Buffalo's certainly not a pushover. And Highlights Henning can attest the Rogers is an awfully good squad, so it's going to be tough.
Yeah, absolutely. But we will look forward to being there every step of the way. As I mentioned, the tennis team already 11 matches on the record. They started with the Stillwater Invite back on August 19th. They lost 7-0 to both Stillwater and Rochester Lords. They followed that up with a quadrangular that they hosted, losing to Buffalo 7-0, Cretin-Durham Hall 5-2, and then finishing with a 6-1 loss against Hibbing. Gabby Newton went 1-2. Sheck and Lily Newton went 1-2 at first doubles. Caminati and Hafferman also had a win at second doubles. Then they got another tri-meet against St. Michael Albertville of Monticello. They lost 7-0 and 6-1. Then they finally got to have just one match in a day, but that didn't go so well either, losing 6-1 at the hands of Andover. Gabby Newton getting the lone win at first singles. And then what was next? Champlain Park? No, Osseo. They lost to Osseo 5-2. Lost to Champlain Park 7-0. Lost to Maple Grove 7-0. They're actually 11-0, not 12-0, or 0-11, not 0-12. They've had a match against Irondale that was postponed. That'll be taking place this week.
I know that's a tough start to the season. Coach Stork said we've never really started in this position, and it's very unfamiliar for him.
But got to do what you can to keep those spirits high.
You bet. Well, as I mentioned, it's not the start the Cardinals were hoping for, but there's still a lot of season left to be played. The Cardinals have some experience, but they're still a young squad. They have their work cut out for them, though, as they go through a very challenging conference and section schedule.
It's exciting, and we have a lot of newer players playing in the varsity lineup right now, and so it's a culture shock at times, I think, but it's what we have to work with right now.
The Cardinals know this year will be filled with challenges, but they're up to the task and excited about setting a new foundation for the program.
We have a lot of new players on the team this year, and I think throughout the course of the year we will keep getting better and keep working hard and build the program for the next few years.
While the Cardinals may be thin in the experience department, they have a lot of athletic ability. Around 70% are multi-sport athletes, which is helping them get up to speed much faster.
We're pretty decent on the serve, return, and ground strokes. It's closing out the points. When we're committing to come in, we're replacing that ball. If we don't place it in the right spot, we're losing control of the point, and that's when they're losing the point. So
the Cardinals know it'll be a difficult season. They have a tough schedule, and things won't always go their way. That's why they're preparing their minds as much as their bodies.
We talk a lot about mental toughness and how to stay positive on and off the court, because it translates. And we talk a lot about the fundamentals, but it's really just about how you're playing against yourself.
The Cardinals are committed to improving throughout the year. They want to be at their best come tournament time, and they know the key to success could just be in their own confidence.
We have our good days, we have our bad days, so just try to keep a positive mind and you will be able to hopefully get the outcomes you want.
As I mentioned, that Irondale meet pushback, they'll face Irondale on Wednesday and Anoka on Thursday, and then they're up north for an invitational in Brainerd on Saturday. Volleyball team has started their season with a whirlwind. They went to the Rush City Invite on August the 26th, and they lost some close matches, 25-17 and 20 at the hands of Rush City, then 25-19 in both sets against Princeton. Got their first win of the year in 3 sets over Hill Murray, and you see the scores are all close every match, and then lost in 3 to Chisago Lakes, and look at it, 25-23, 25-17, and 16-14. So all very tight scores. Then they faced Cambridge Isani, a very tough section opponent. They hung with them pretty well in the first set, but lost in 3 as the Blue Jackets just kept getting stronger. And then their most recent match last week was against Totino Grace. The Cardinals were up 1-0 and 2-1, but were unable to close it out, and you see it again, very close scores, losing 26-24 in the 4th, and that took them to the 5th, where they lost 15-12. Well, it may take a little time for the volleyball squad to reach its potential, but that's to be expected with so many new faces. The Cardinals were hit hard by graduation, and while the players they lost will be missed, they're really excited about the athletes they have to step in and move this program forward.
We graduated 8 seniors, and 6 of those seniors, actually 7, were starters. So we definitely have lost a big group, but I think what we've gained is a great group of athletes that are ready to work their butt off.
That's the attitude this group needs to have as they basically rebuild the varsity team from scratch. While they're focusing on all of the in-game aspects, they're also working extra hard on strength and endurance training to make sure they can handle their conference schedule grind.
We are doing a lot of training just on their verticals, jump training. Like behind me, they're doing box jumps just to really get those verticals up. So I honestly believe with all the work that they're putting in, we're going to be able to work around whatever height differences that we have. And also they have the grit and the want to beat every team in this conference this year. So I'm not worried at all. I believe in my girls.
The extra dry land efforts are new to a lot of the players, but they're confident the efforts will pay off when games are on the line.
It helps us stay in the game and really helps us push on because games can get long, and it helps us stay motivated and stronger because we all know we need that during games and really anything.
The Cardinals have really bought into Coach Crooks' methods. She works them extra hard, but also keeps their spirits and their confidence growing.
She always knows what to say. She always knows what to say to us that we can keep pushing and keep us motivated to keep on going.
The Cardinals still have a lot to work on to reach their potential. Serve, receive, and attacking are among their top priorities for improvement. But they're confident their hard work will pay off, and they look forward to seeing what they can achieve by season's end.
I'm excited to see where we end up because I think it's going to be a really good season to see how much we're going to grow from tryouts to the last game.
Cardinals actually on the road facing Park Center Pirates tonight. They will host the Blaine Bengals on Thursday. Swimming and diving team has a couple of meets under its belt as well. As always, it starts with the Northwest Suburban Conference relays. The Cardinals finished 6th place in that event. Their best finish was 3rd place in the 100 freestyle relay. 200 freestyle relay, they were in 4th. They went head-to-head with the Blaine Bengals, and the Bengals sealed supremacy of the middle school pool. That was last Tuesday night, beating the Cardinals 99-74. Smith Jeanette, though, that is a 1st place, but it's also a middle school record for 6 dives that, or for 6 dives that knocked off a record that was formerly held by Sam Trainer. So kind of cool.
Very cool.
A young diver, and this team's got like six or 7 divers. So something that they haven't had a lot of experience with. Then on Thursday night, they lost a closer one to Elk River, 92.5 to 77.5. That's actually scores are flip-flop. Cardinals lose that one. But again, Smith Jeanette with a 2nd place finish in diving, leading the way. So divers will be fun to watch.
Well, the swimming and diving team has a little different makeup this season. They are a smaller group with only a handful of veterans, but with so many new faces, their potential for improvement is off the charts.
But I'm excited for the team. I think we have a bunch of new young talent coming up. I'm excited.
The Cardinals have a smaller team this year, with numbers only in the mid-20s. While the talent pool isn't as deep as they might like, they're finding there are benefits to having fewer athletes.
I feel like that's a good and a bad thing because since we're smaller, everyone kind of knows everyone and we're all kind of friends. So as cheesy as it sounds, we're kind of like one big happy family.
The team has lost some outstanding talent over the last couple of years, but they have a solid group at the top again this season, and their goal is to make this team the best it can be.
We need to take this team to that next level, and in order to do that, we just have to focus on ourselves and not worry about what other people are doing.
This year's seniors know what it takes to be an elite swimmer. They've seen the state entrance from years past and witnessed how their hard work paid off. Now, it's their turn to lead the way for their younger teammates.
Just go with every set. It might seem like really hard in the moment. Your face is going to get really red. You're going to be out of breath. You might feel like you're drowning, but you all progress to your better times. And in every single race, you're going to see with how fast or how much work you put in each set, how much better your times are going to be.
The Cardinals compete in a very tough conference and section, and they hope they can make some waves throughout the season. But more importantly, they want to push each other to go faster than they thought possible.
I really look forward to seeing those new times on the board. It's so rewarding to see like a teammate that has been working for a time for so long to finally reach that time. And I have a feeling this year we'll be seeing a lot of lettering times from girls that didn't think they were going to letter.
The Cardinals are committed to helping every girl get stronger, faster, and more confident. Because when you believe, that's when you can achieve.
Swimming is a mindset kind of sport. And so I feel like if you believe you can get faster and if you believe that you can kind of achieve your goals and your goal times, then they can really do it if they put their mind to it.
So it'll be fun to see the growth and progression and to see where people improve and how we can step up, and you never know what happens at the end of the season. So I'm excited for that, and just to see the progression and improvement over the course of the season.
Up next for the swimming and diving team, they'll be down in Bloomington for the Kennedy Invitational on Saturday, and then they will host Champlain Park in a couple of weeks. So they've got a little bit of a break early in the schedule, unless the Northwest Suburban Conference website is not completely updated, which
could be possible.
Is possible.
Yeah.
Cross-country team started its season with the ABC Invite, boys finishing in 4th place. Peyton Martinek, a 4th place finish, very respectable. And there you see the rest of the guys all kind of grouped together from 34th to 35th place, or 30th to 35th place. They almost owned all of those spots, but need to get a couple more guys up into that top group as they move forward on the season. Girls a little bit better, finished 3rd place overall. Ruby Demmer finished in the top 10, and so did Legree. So a couple of top 10 finishes, a couple in the teens, and Lily McKenzie finished in 23rd place. So very, very respectable start for them. And they look forward to this being not about the start, but really it's all about how they finish. Both Cardinal squads have a lot of youth and a lot of potential, and they're really pushing hard to finish this year strong and set the programs up for even more success in the future.
I like to see what they can do, see their growth, see their development, and help them, find things about themselves.
The sky is the limit for this year's cross-country teams. The boys have a couple of veteran leaders that could be among the best in the conference and section, but the bulk of both teams still have several years ahead of them.
So this year, again, we have a really young team, but we're looking really forward to it. They've improved a lot from last year, so we've got a lot of hope for this year.
The Cardinals aren't limiting their goals based on their youth. They know they have the talent and the work ethic needed to take them all the way to the biggest meet of the season.
We want it to be where they're thinking every day, they're doing the steps that they need to get to state and to help each other and work together and do the individual things they need to do their part to get themselves there, to get the team there.
While the boys have a couple of seniors, the girls' top runners are almost exclusively sophomores and younger. And while it means good things for years to come, they're committed to pushing themselves to reach for the stars this fall.
We work together really well, and we have our top 5 runners have been running together for the past 3 years now, so we know what it's like. We know how to push each other when we get down.
Being fast and having endurance are keys to success in cross country, but it takes a lot more than that. Maybe more than any other sport, athletes need the internal drive to keep getting better and finishing stronger.
Mental toughness is when you're about 2 miles in and you're dying. Your legs are shot and you just got to push yourself through it. You got to not think about it, just think about finishing. The faster you run, the faster you're done with it.
The future is incredibly bright for both of these programs, but the focus for the Cardinals is now. They plan to push their limits this season to see how high they can set the bar moving forward.
We're just going to go day by day, see what happens this year, and then we'll worry about next year when we get to next year.
The cross-country teams head to Cambridge on Friday for the Blue Jacket Invitational, and next week they're down in Lakeville for the Applejack Invite.
I bet you didn't know that the Applejack Invite is one of my very favorites.
And it should be. It is a tremendous event, and they will see some of the best competition in the state. Boys soccer team started its season with a couple of games last week. On Monday, they hosted Centennial, lost to the Cougars by a 1-0 score. Then on Wednesday, they traveled to Andover and lost by that same 1-0 score. Luke Rising, 18 saves in the season opener, kept him in it as best he could, but the boys just have not yet found the key to the back of the net.
Well, the Cardinals would have loved a better start, but they can't feel too bad about losing 1-0 to 2 very good conference teams. This is a young club that has a fair amount of experience. While they lost an all-state attacker, they return enough pieces that they should be able to hang with anyone.
The new players are good. There's some big shoes to fill on some of the players that left, like Yukon being all-state, and none of them are really going to fill that this year, but they're good.
The Cardinals lost 11 players to graduation, most notably Harmon, who had 23 goals in 14 games. The team knows they won't have a player like that this season, so they need everybody to be a little sharper at everything.
I think we got to take a step up, work a little bit harder, which everybody wants to do. So
And then we got to be able to score too and defend a little bit better. So you got to do all the little things right to take that next step forward.
The Cardinals do have a lot of returning players. They worked a lot of young guys into the lineup, and now they come in with a better understanding of what to expect at the varsity level.
I think the biggest surprise for me was the speed and the amount of stamina that you need to play on the field. Yeah, and the overall teamwork that's required to play varsity and do well. I thought that was really, it's a lot higher than you think it is.
Without a big gun like Harmon, the Cardinals are going to have to be better as a unit if they hope to equal or improve on last year's record. And that's something that early on seems to be one of their strengths.
I think we're playing as a team better than expected because with all the new players, there might not be as much chemistry or like knowing what the people want to do or where they're going. But we're moving good, passing good, playing like a team.
And those are the things they'll have to continue to improve on as they move through the schedule. They're going to need to be able to finish, but that will come as they continue to work together and trust in each other.
They know that it's kind of like the Herb Brooks, right? We may not be the most talented, may not be like the most tactical, but we are going to work hard and we're going to definitely try to execute everything we learn out here, you know, every chance we get.
The next few weeks will definitely be intense, but these Cardinals have high hopes for how quickly they will come together and what they'll be able to accomplish once they do.
Getting into the first couple of weeks of games and just seeing them start to gel as a team and all of this work and me thinking going crazy up here come together, you know, to make, I don't know, basically some beautiful soccer out here.
Cardinals are hosting Park Center tonight, and Howie,
we'll be there.
We're headed right over there as soon as we get done with this, if we get done with this. Then they host Armstrong on Thursday. Girls soccer teams played a couple of more already. They started with a 4-1 loss to Chisago Lake. Sarah Forrest getting the lone goal on a direct kick. Then on Saturday, the 27th, they lost 2-0 to St. Francis. Last week, some very tough competition. Centennial, always one of the better teams in the state, beat them 10-0, and Andover made it even worse with a 13-0 defeat. It's definitely not the start the Cardinals were hoping for, but they know this is going to be a tough season. They lost a lot to graduation, and it will take some time for the younger girls to get fully up to speed. Still, they're confident they have the pieces to fill all the holes.
Last year we had a lot of seniors that left us, 13 seniors last year that are no longer with us, but we have a lot of new incoming talent that are just as capable as those that were really good.
The Cardinals' schedule is unforgiving to say the least. They play in one of the best conferences in the state, and they've added some really strong opponents to their non-conference schedule as well.
We're going to take our lumps this season, but we also have to make sure that we're staying positive and you know, enjoying the process throughout the entire season.
The Cardinals do have some solid leadership from their senior captains, and they're encouraged by what they've seen from the younger players coming in.
I think we have a lot of potential this season. We have a lot of new young girls that are willing to work really hard, so I think we're going to do stuff that we've never been able to do before.
It may take a while before the team is fully up to speed and able to reach that potential, but everyone is confident that if they work together to fill the needs, they'll be successful at the end.
A lot of encouragement, a lot of positive things going on. We're just kind of bringing each other up, and all the veterans have to kind of move around in their positions a little bit just to fill in those empty spots.
The big question for the Cardinals is how to create more on the offensive end. Scoring was a concern last season. With a slow start already, it will continue to be a focus for their efforts.
What can we do to make sure that we're on that offensive press and off a lot of the time? We really want to focus on controlling the center mid, you know, the central third of the field, and then push it off into the offensive third as well as much as we can. And
getting everyone involved and on the same page will be paramount. With one of their senior leaders already sidelined by injury, she knows she still has her voice, and she knows how important a piece of communication can be.
It's crucial. You have to have it or else the team doesn't work. You got to have that communication, got to be loud, got to be big, and we're just trying to teach our younger girls to be big and have that voice.
The girls are also hosting Park Center tonight. That's actually happening while we're sitting here on the desk. So
trying to get through this show. Yeah.
We have the cameras, we have the production is there, just no audio.
Sometimes that's better.
I was going to say it's possibly the best girls soccer game
ever
that CTN has ever aired. Then they're off until Saturday when they'll be at Mounds View to take on the Mustangs.
We did action. We did it. We made it.
We got through it all, and we're just getting started for the fall season. On Thursday, Howie's going to be at the Bob Pivick tennis courts for the match with Anoka. Then on Friday, We're back at the Cardinals Stadium as the Cardinals host Buffalo. Looking forward to another fantastic football game. Next week, we see the volleyball team for the first time as Anoka blows into town. Tornadoes Cardinals on Monday night. But that is going to do it for this edition of CTN Sports Night. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us and continue to support everything we do here at CTN. To the entire crew, including Steve Erickson and Neil Hennon in the control booth, and my partner, Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young. Good night.